It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll see the Aviators' creative quarterback. He had a solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Aviators and the Dreadnoughts, next on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's week 3 and we've got a good one in store between the San Antonio Dreadnoughts and the Columbus Aviators. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP, already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. A huge play there right off the bat. 45 yards. That's some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And room there to work it inside the 25. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper it at 2nd and 1. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 119 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown! A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Aviators will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive, he burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this one complete to Reed. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now back to throw. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
It really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime you didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. They find some open field here. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. This is caught. Touchdown! Josh Gordon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Aviators are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it. It's a little bit of a turnover. You went right back to and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And Thomas has it. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 2nd and 3. He rifles one that's intercepted. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Aviators are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Back out comes San Antonio. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the 1st half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza is sent on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the 1st quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the 1st quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
21-0 our score after one. Columbus with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this time not quite to the 30, he'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 25 yards that time.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown. And the Aviators are able to widen their lead here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away, but this one might be over by halftime.
And since you already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that drive, 12 plays in length. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back out comes San Antonio. The last series for a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
On the ground, it's Thomas. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Matt Horizon now on to punt this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. On second down, they'll run it here. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. They'll look to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Some room to run now. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Edwards. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
2nd and 6. Got Edwards now on the slant. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught by Williams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Aviators have taken a 5-touchdown lead. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here, because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Marquez Stevenson now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, The goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. This is Thomas. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Here's Matt Araiza now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin with the black and blue matchup. Bring your lunch pail for this one. Pittsburgh playing host to Baltimore. And those two are tied up as they play the 2nd quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. We'll continue on and take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for our home team, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Stevenson now, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And this offense set to go now to begin the 3rd quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They run with Thomas. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Looking to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 66 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And it's caught. Touchdown. Josh Gordon. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Aviators have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or 2? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick completion here to Johnson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man Sharp complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Now Thomas. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll set up to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. And Thomas has it. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Back to throw. He's got Thomas yet again complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it. No good. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and yet.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the defense. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Myles Garrett able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. Remember, earlier in this game, he lost a fumble. This time, it hit the deck, but he got it back.
Yeah, do you think he's breathing a monster sigh of relief right now? Could you imagine losing 2 in the same game and how that would affect you moving forward? But for him, high and tight, just like a good haircut. Never go wrong that way. Hold that football.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So they bring out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
6 yards left on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 93 yards rushing now for the ball game on 24 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. On second down, they'll run it here. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were doing, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Columbus, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, they too will exit record and chance to redeem themselves at home next week.